Hello and welcome back. This video is all about the Carcharodon characters that I've developed for the Return to Baghdad project army. Of course you're going to see the likes of Tiberios in this, but also a couple of characters I've developed myself through bits bashing and converting. A lot of bits bashing, let's face it. It's very visual, a lot of pictures in this one. I hope everyone enjoys, and let's get cracking, shall we? So the first character I wanted to focus on was Bale Shah, which is the character at the front of the artwork that you're currently seeing. He's featured in The Red Tithe and The Reaping Time, both by Robert McNeve. Really cool character. From what I've read in the books, he's really interesting. There's a lot of depth to him, and I remember seeing this piece of artwork and thought, yeah, that's the captain I want to go for. I want to do the Reaper Prime, and I love the name. Like, they don't have just captains; it's like they have a specific title. And the third company's captain, Bale Shah, is known as the Reaper Prime, which is so damn cool. So Bale Shah wears a suit of ancient Mark III power armor, so I had to make sure that the base for him was ornate enough to pass for a captain, but didn't have too much detail on that. I couldn't modify it as I went along. In the artwork, he has a skull that's set into the center of his breastplate. So when I found this Forge World resin legs and torso with the empty circle in the middle, it was perfect to just cut up a small skull from another piece and insert it into that space. The second thing was the axe. Now, as many of you already know, I'm really impatient, so I didn't wait around. I immediately went through the bits box, went through the stuff that people had sent me, as well as parts that I'd picked up from Murfield Miniatures, and started cobbling together my own chain axe. I tried to go for as close to representing him in the artwork as I did the model. Unfortunately, I came across a couple of problems and it ended up being completely different to the artwork, but overall I was really happy with it. There must have been some 30 different parts that I used. A lot of the bits I ended up cutting and ended up changing, and then when it got round to the painting side of things, it was just Carcharodon's paint scheme. You know, get the right amount of detail on, get the knot work on. All the extra little bits that were already on the torso and legs, I eventually decided to leave, and I just thought, well, I'll pick them out and they will add to the overall appearance that I wanted to give the Reaper Prime. So the next character I want to talk about is the Chaplain. Now, I took a lot of inspiration from the Silent Hunters book by Eduardo Albert. Manu is a chaplain in that book. He's a really interesting character. A bit abrasive, but overall is a really interesting character, and I really liked the artwork on the front of the book, and immediately it was like, okay, I want to make a version of him because he looks cool. It was very simple and very basic. I got the Finecast Games Workshop chaplain with the chest piece covered in the ribs, and I just changed the weapons really. But overall, I think it came out looking really quite cool. There was just enough space on one of the shoulder pads for me to fit a little bit of extra detail. And obviously, with it being already a Games Workshop model, it already had all the extra bits and detail on that I would need for a chaplain. So the next character on the list really doesn't actually need that much of an introduction, because everyone by this point has seen this Chaplain Dreadnought. It's been very well received. People really like it. I really enjoyed building it and painting it and converting it. The model itself is based off of the Forge World Bray Ash Mantle. It's a rescue that I've had sat around for a while and haven't really done anything with, and with me jumping in both feet to this project, when I sat and took a look at it, I thought, well, I could take it apart and I could clean it up, and it could work for a Carcharodon's Chaplain Dreadnought. Again, it's something that I've always wanted to do. Chaplain Dreadnought's a really cool concept, and I got to play around with a lot of different bits that were sent to me from all over the place, and eventually it kind of settled on specific parts that I wanted to add to it, and then it kind of developed its own look as I went along, trying out different parts, skulls, teeth, varying types of jaws from different kits, and eventually it came together in one really nice looking model. The last character in this video definitely does not need any introduction. The artwork that you're currently viewing is a piece from the Bad Ab War books itself, and it's probably the first time I'd ever seen this character, and it sort of seared itself into my brain. I already knew from the word go, when I said I was going to get involved in this project, I knew I was going to get myself Tiberius and I was going to paint him. I really, really hope that at some point we get a new model for him, maybe a larger model to represent his size, because he's supposed to be huge even outside of his Terminator armor. It's such a nice model and it was so fun to paint. Out of all the characters, it's probably the only stock model that I got for the project, and it turned out so nice. It makes me want to do either another one or maybe convert him into a larger character, because he's supposed to be so big, and at the moment he kind of looks rather dinky alongside the rest of the models. It's packed with detail, even though at first glance there doesn't appear to be any, and the subtlety is just lost on me before I painted it, and then now I've painted it, it's like, okay, this is a really good model. There's a lot of nice detail, it's clean, it's crisp, and I'm really proud of it, to be honest. From here though, I think the only other character that I want to do is a Librarian at some point. Now, I've not really seen much in the way of artwork. There's a lot of talented folk out there that have done some fantastic Carcharodon Librarians, so I think I'm going to take a little bit more time to figure out exactly how I want to go about making a Librarian. In the meantime, I'm going to carry on documenting the project as best I can. We're going to start moving into showcasing some of the other people that are involved in the project, and have a look at how far they've come, what armies they've chosen, and possibly move into looking at like the Dreadnoughts, maybe some other bit spashers and conversions. I hope everyone has enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you all next time.